Hey guys, so welcome to Codenbox Automation Lab. This is Sherful. So we're going to start a brand new series about Selenium version 4 new features. So there is a number of features been included in the Selenium from version 4, and one of them it's called Relative Locators. So Relative Locators, it's nothing. It's bring a new way to locate elements to help us to find the ones that are nearby to other elements. The available method underneath the relative locators are above method, below method, nearby method, toLeftOf method, and toRightOf method. So what is above? So above method is to find a specific element above with respect to that element. It means, example, if we go to example switch. So example here, you can see there is a text element which is called switch tab example. So if you want to find or locate this element, find this element and this switch tab text example element, and this element it's located above of the open tab element. So this is the open tab element is the nearby to the switch tab example, or you can say switch tab example is the above of open tab open tab element. So we can use as a reference the above element to locate the other or nearby element. Okay. And similarly, you can see, if you would like to find the switch tab example as I have shown you, which is above the open tab link, to do that, we find the open tab through its ID. So open tab, it has a, if you inspect, you will find the ID, and then we can use the above relative locator. You will see an example. It's a very simple concept. And below, it's similar concept, just the reverse. Find a specific element below with respect to that element. Similarly, if you want to find same thing over here, if you want to find the open window, this element, this element is the below of switch window example element. Okay. And near, so near is another method from the relative locator. So find an element that is at most 50 pixel away from the specific element. So you can find one element, which is close by another element, but their distance, they should be very close. Distance shouldn't be more than 50 pixel away. And toLeftOf method, find an element to the left of a specific element. Example here, you can find this, this filled box or filled input box, which is the left of alert button. Okay. In that case, we can use, the toLeftOf method. Similarly, toRightOf method, find an element to the right of specific element. And the syntax for all of them, this is a very common syntax. So we'll see the driver.find element. We're going to use a new keyword which is called with. So we're saying the driver.find element with by tag name. So here is the common syntax is like we're going to use the by tag name, the tag name of the element we're looking for. So only we're going to use in this case only the tag name for the element we're looking for. The element, which is the above of or the below of the element, actually the element we're looking for, we're going to use only the tag name for that locator. So whatever the tag name for that locator, dot, we're going to use the relative method. So relatives method, so it could be your above method, below method, near method, toLeftOf method, or toRightOf, any one of the relatives method. So we're going to use after that relatives method and the locator and the web element and the locator of exactly the the relevant one. So example, if we want to use, say example, above method over here, where is that? Over here. So if we want to use the above method over here, so, and to look at this switch tab example tags, in that case we're going to use tag name only for the switch tab example for this locator, and we're going to use actual locator for this open tab, whatever the locator, whether it's id using xpath or whatever, and between that we're going to use the relative locators, so we're going to use as a above method. Let's say an example, and also we need to here is a one important information over here. We need to import manually the related package for the relatives, the relatives locator, which is this one. You can easily find Google, but you can find also in my node, because some reason this package doesn't show automatically in Eclipse. Okay, let's go to our Eclipse. So in our Eclipse, I create a new package for the same project, or so project, here is the source folder, so I created just a new and the package name. I give a package name over here, the same package name, Selenium 4, you can see. Okay, this is the package name I created, you can see, Selenium 4. So we're going to create all the classes for this related with the Selenium 4 underneath this package. Okay, and here, and after that also we want to make sure that once again your pom.xml file, so it should be Maven project, and your pom.xml file, make sure that you have the dependency for the Selenium Java, it have to be 4, otherwise you will not get the features, because it's a 4 features, all the features. And you can use add also testng, though we're not going to use testng features for now. Okay, we're going to use testng features in our upcoming lecture, where we're going to learn what is testng, how the testng works, what's the different features of testng, and so on. We'll have a separate project for that. But anyways, make sure you have the Selenium Java latest version, which is above 4. Currently right now when I'm doing the video, it's 4.22 is the latest one. Okay, anyways, let's go and let's create over here. I will create a class. Let's create a class. I will give a class name, say relative locators, relatives locators, say test or example. I will say practice, relative locators practice, and use make sure you select the void main method. Okay, and here the first things we're going to write our very common or prerequisite code. I'm not going to write again. So here the initialize the driver, so new Chrome driver, and then maximize the window, and this is our URL to do the practice. Okay, Codenbox Automationlab.com /practice. Okay, and hover mouse. So if you see, it's not, you can see sometimes it doesn't show the package. I see it very frequently, it doesn't show the package for a Chrome driver class or web driver interface, it doesn't show. You can Control Shift and then hold O. Okay, you can see it's automatically bring the package, or you can manually copy the package from your older project or another class. Okay, and then the next things we're going to do, example, we're going to say example of above method, right? Above method, example of above method, so which is nothing is finding an element above of, in this case we're going to use open tab. Okay, so which is nothing. So this is our example. Where is our open tab? This is, so we're going to find an element which is above of open tab, which is nothing, it's switch tab example. Okay, so always remember that the element where our target element to find or locate, we're going to, for that element we're going to only use tag name. And for the above, above relevant element locator, whatever you want, whether XPath, ID, regular locator, we're going to use. Okay, so here is we're going to find the locator, which is nothing, switch tab example above of open tab, and for this scenario we're going to use the above method. Okay, let's see what's the you can see the tag name for switch tab example is legend. Okay, for legend. And for the open tab, you can see the open tab, it has an ID called open tab. Okay, let's go over here. So we're going to say driver, okay, we'll say driver dot find element. So we're going to use above we're going to use relatives locator. To use the relatives locator, the syntax is we have to use driver dot find element with. Okay, if you hover the with, there's nothing, no package shows over here. As I said, for this, we have to import the package, to manually copy the package and then paste it over here. So some reason it doesn't show in Eclipse automatically, so we have to, and that's one of the reasons why, because you can see this package is a static package. So a static package, some reason is not showing automatically. You have to import manually like this. Okay, now you can save it, save it, and then hover your mouse. It should go away after that, after we write. Okay, driver dot find element, we're going to save with, let's type it again, with, and after that we'll say with, and then we'll say with, then we'll say by dot tag name. What we're going to use? Tag name. And what's the tag name? We're going to use a tag name. By dot tag name. So tag name. What's the value of the tag name? What the tag name for the locator that we're targeting, which is our targeted is locator is switch tab example. This text, this locator element. So for this, it has only one tag name, and we're going to use always tag name. Okay, this is the tag name. Copy this one, so we'll paste the tag name, and then we're going to say dot so this elements, it's located above of, so we're going to use above. What's the above of above of the locator? What above? So this is the above of open tab locator. So we need to find we have to give the address of open tab. So what's the open tab? You can see there is an ID over here. So let's create a locator for the open tab. So let me create over here, so we can, other than we're putting the whole locator inside there. So we'll say driver dot find element by dot, it was ID, right? So let's put what's the value of the open tab ID? This is the ID. Let's put this one in a variable. I'll give a variable name. It's like open tab. Okay, open tab, and it's a web element, right? Web element. Okay, hover your mouse, input the package. So we're going to pass this open tab locator over here. Okay, it should be good, right? And then open tab, and then so what do you want? So this is the, make sure that you close and at the closing bracket. So with from the width up until it's all should be in under one bracket, everything. So this is the opening, and this is the closing, and this one is the closing of this, and it has a 2 over here for this 2. So you make sure that you added another closing bracket. So this is like we're saying driver to find element with by tag name listen. So we're saying that find this element which is the by tag name listen of above open tab element. Okay, and so it means it will find, it's supposed to find this switch tab example, this look element. And then if we want to get the text, let's, since it has that element has the text, so let use get text so that we can print it. We can ensure that it was able to locate the right element. Okay, so we'll say it's a switch tab, or we'll say, let's say give a name. Okay, it was a switch, what was the name? Yeah, switch tab example. We'll say switch tab. Okay, switch tab, and then it should be string, since get text methods return a string, so it should be a string. Okay, and then if we say system.out.println, and then pass this switch tab here, okay, and then it should be printed. Okay, let's save it, run it, maximize the browser. You will not see this anything over here because it will grab the select this switch tab, this one, and supposed to fetch the text, and supposed to show in our console. You can see, right? You can see. Okay, so that's the way we can use above method of the relatives locator. Similar way we can use the below one. It's just opposite. Okay, just opposite. So example of, we're going to use now example of below method, right? Below method, so which is a finding an element below of enable button. So let's see what we are going to say. So here, let's see our, what do we have? Element. Okay, let's see over here. So here you can see there is a 2 button, disable and enable. Okay, and underneath this 2 there is another fill text field that you can type something over here. So let's use the enable. So our targeting locator is locating this fill text. Okay, let's see that we're going to type something over here, and we can, to locate this one, we can use the enable one, because let's this is a enable one. You can see this is the disable, this is the enable, and underneath the enable, the below of this enable, there is the input box, right? The fill text box over here. This is the one, right? So we can use over here the enable button, give a reference, so that we can use a below method, so that we can locate this fill text, right? Okay, so here is you can see it has for the fill text, we're going to use only the tag name, which is the input, and for this one, for the enable button, there is an ID. So let's use the ID. Okay, go over here. So what we're going to do, we'll say finding an element, what element? Finding, I will say text box, text box, finding text box below of enable button, right? So we're going to find the text box using the below method of enable button, right? So in that case, so let's locate first the enable button. We can put same way, we'll put in a variable, something like that. So we'll say driver dot find element by, we'll say use ID. What's the value of the ID? ID value is this. Okay, let's put this one in a variable. I would give a name variable, say enable, right? Enable btn button, enable button, and then return type would be web element, right? Web element. And then now we're going to use driver dot find element with and then with. So our same syntax we're going to follow. Driver dot find element with by tag name. We'll use by dot tag name. What would be the tag name? Tag name would be for that fill text. We know it's an input. It was an input, and then input dot below. So this locator is below method. Below of what locator? Below of this enable button. So below of this, right? So after that, make sure you close the bracket. Okay, and then what do you want to do? So this will locate our fill text, right? This fill text, right? The text box. I want to type in this text box. Let's want to type something. So to type something, let's use the send keys method. The send keys method, I'm going to type, let's type best Selenium course. Best Selenium course, okay? Right? That should be. And then make sure you close the statement. Right? Save it. Then run it. Okay, you can see over here. See, it's typed a base Selenium course, right? And then if you close it, let's close it, and then you will see over here also the string for the first test using the above method, which is the switch tab example as in text of the of that element of this element, right? Okay, so that's the use case of above and below method of relatives locators.